We've all seen those TikToks, right? That they say disappear from the face of the earth and you will be the next millionaire or godlike figure. Just by looking for 5 minutes on TikTok, I found these clips that are just saying disappear and then you come back stronger.
Shock the world.
A man who stays.
And if I can leave you with, bro, let him hate. Let him talk, let him laugh, because that's all these people are going to be able to do in life.
Well, something inside you thinks, is that even true? Well, let me tell you one thing. Yes, there is a part of truth behind it. That is simply, the louder you are, the more possibilities of danger you attract. As for the opposite, if you're quieter. And that is what tech nerd Amir did. So when looking for a photo of Amir, I only found this actor, which is not himself, even though he's born at the same place, which I will later tell you. What I did find was 300 profile pictures, which you can see right now on the screen. At the end, I could not find a singular photo of Amir himself. He went from silent to loud, and he fell in this devastating trap. And that is the story I will tell you of his life that you need to watch out for. Amir Kazemi, born in Tehran, raised in Frankfurt, and later moved to London with only two things: a used laptop and a brain for systems. Like I said, he was born in Tehran, where his parents had a business. Only the business was struggling badly. Red tape. If you do not know what it means, look it up. Broken infrastructure. Supply deliveries getting late. So then his parents decided to move to Frankfurt. And he became obsessed with how systems worked. Simply, he was the one who needed to fix it for his parents. And I mean literally everything you can imagine. The bus, the nearest supermarket, even delivering routes, he was obsessed with it. So he decided to study urban planning. Work nights in a warehouse and did deliveries just to get by. He didn't just study systems, no, he lived in a whole system himself. And that's where his edge came from. Amir, he was the quiet one, always observing, listening, and learning. That's when he finished his urban planning study. He decided to join a startup company. And he rose fast. Not because he talked much. No, simply he adapted. What he did is he adapted to the new situations that came. He adapted to his new team, to the new challenges. So then, after 3 years of work delivering, he got the promotion for COO, which is a promotion that many of us want to achieve. And he was proud of it. He liked the systems, he liked the structure, only something was chewing at him. And that was simply, he was polishing someone else's machine. And that is something he did not want. So that is why Amir left his COO job. No big announcements, no big things or anything. He just left and went on to do something. What Amir did was he started his own company named Chariot. And Chariot was a company specialized in logistics and tech. And he began to build that. He did it slowly and quietly. And eventually people caught on and cities made contracts with him. Investors put money in him. And all things started to go great. His company was building, his company was rising. Only there was one thing. As it went, he never called it a revolutionary invention. He just called it like being back at the old days, neighborhood delivery. Well, one thing that was harmful is that every time he entered a new city, or a city closed a contract with him, dozens and dozens of companies went bankrupt as a result of it. And behind the scenes, it was unraveling long-standing deals between cities and legal contractors. That is why people did not want it. And that is when the spotlight hit him. Simply because all those companies went into bankruptcy and he started expanding his empire. Well, the media call him a genius. You can compare it with an Einstein. He was called the anti-Bezos. He dressed simply and was always calm and relaxed. Well, that is his weak point. He was perfection. And perfection is one killing death. And that is simply when you are seen as perfect, people can start to turn against you. And that is the reality that hit Amir. Inside his company, people got the feeling that they were useless, that they will never be able to take his position and pass on the baton further, further, further. No, people see that in a way that they never get a chance. So what do people when they feel that way? Well, they begin to look for cracks and things to put you down. That is exactly what went in his company. His CTO went quiet in meetings. His head of strategy, once a friend, leaked internal documents. One tabloid heading text, read it, is Amir too clean to be real? And then came the s'more companies. Fake lawsuits, sabotage went inside his company. Amir had built an image to spotless. And in doing so, he made powerful people feel tiny and small. That is one of the dangers that lurks in being too perfect. Because if you're too perfect, people only see you as a threat and not something that they can admire. And the crash that went in the company itself wasn't loud. It was surgical precision. Regularly pressure. Cities froze the expansion of Jared's company. Then another, a private vote of the board removed Amir as CEO. The press called it unexpected or strategic resignment. In truth, it was a coup. And what a coup is simply a set-up plan to evict someone. And that was set up by the one that wanted to take control of the entire company. But Amir had one move left. One move he eventually played wrong. He tried to win one last time. He launched a new business, a counter project called Spoke, to put direct competition with his company. And he tried to outmaneuver the board and claw back in the market shares. But that is the wrong thing Amir did. What Amir needed to do was to take a step back, hold his horses, and quietly build up. Because if Jared's board did not see him as a threat when he was just starting up, they will just completely forget about him. Amir could have just waited for the chances and then sliced them into pieces. But that is not what he did. Because the first few weeks were promising for Amir, then the biggest investor of him pulled back. Fake lawsuits, cities froze his expansions, and then just Amir had overreached his hand. And now he was just doomed for failure. And now no one knows where Amir is. Some say he lives in Croatia, others say that he is advertising government in Africa, and a few whisper that he runs ghost companies under fake names, investing, acquiring, and building again. But no one can prove anything. He is not on social media, he does not take credit for anything, he flows one system to another system, leaving no fingerprints at all. And yet, whenever a bold company comes from the ground, some people think that he is the brain behind it. But what does Amir teach us? Well, Amir's story is something incredible, but it teaches key life lessons. Power is subtle. It doesn't give itself big announcements. It flows like water, adaptable, patient, and formless. And that is exactly with changes. Slowly include new changes while respecting the old things. And above all, never let perfectionism beat you. Because that is the thing that got Amir his faith. He just overplayed his hand and was too perfect for other people. Stay human, stay relatable, stay in touch with people. And when you do that, this story is something you will always remember. If you made these mistakes, it is something you will always remember. Simply because it is something you need to watch out for. So go on by yourself. Look if you have things like this. Because if you do, I'm just giving you the path to stop them. And with that, I hope to see you in my next video.